Hi everyone, how are you all doing? A very beautiful morning or afternoon or evening to you wherever you are. I mean, I know we have different time zones, okay? My name is Adeze Adana and I proudly represent Royal Place Ministries International. We have our headquarters here in Houston, Texas, and we are situated at 3505 South Dairy Ashford Road, Suite 296, Houston, Texas. And our zip code is 77082. We have a branch in New York, we have a branch in Michigan, and we are planning on opening a branch in Maryland here in the US and in London. Okay, so you never know, we are an expanding ministry. We might be coming to your city next. We have 3 branches in Lagos, Nigeria, and we are still expanding in Nigeria. I am so excited to be a part of a ministry that is expanding, and we are blessed by a major prophet of God, a man who teaches us the undiluted word of God, a man who teaches you to know God for yourself, a man who teaches you to be your own prophet, okay, and to be a prophet to your family. His name is Bishop Blessing Samuel. If you're not following him on Facebook, I encourage you to follow him on Facebook. Search for him on Facebook. You'll find him as Bishop Blessing Samuel. Click the like button on his page and click the follow button, okay? He comes on Facebook every Mondays through Fridays to teach us the undiluted word of God at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. We've been getting a lot of testimonies, okay? And we've been blessed. I have been blessed, and so many other people have been blessed as well. And I want you to be a part of this blessing, okay? So make sure that you do not miss it on Monday, okay? 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Invite your friends and family. You will be blessed, I promise you, all right? Now, if you are watching me for the first time, this is Inspirational Moments with Adeze Adana, and this program is powered by RPMI, Royal Place Ministries International, okay? So today we will be talking about the minister's wife. Who is she? I know a lot of us out there are a lot of women out there who, who are probably married to a man of God or an evangelist. And when I talk about a minister, I'm not necessarily just talking about, the general overseer of a church or the resident pastor. I'm talking about, the choir master, the choir leader, the head usher, the evangelist in the church, the youth pastor. As long as your husband is in a position of leadership, all right, and majorly if he is a pastor, all right. And I hope that you will be blessed by these tips that I'm sharing today. Just know that whatever I share are things that, are some of my experiences. Some are, based off on, the knowledge of the word of God, and others are based on statistics and reality facts, okay? So now today we will be talking about the minister's wife. So you want to be a pastor's wife. Do you know what that office entails at all? A lot of women want to be the pastor's wife for various reasons. I know some people get carried away by the title of, the first lady of the church. It looks glamorous until you begin to wear that shoe, until you begin to function in that office. You will understand that it's not as glamorous as it looks. If you are a minister's wife, if you are the wife of a man of God, you are on an assignment. You are not just, you're not just the wife of a pastor to decorate the front seat of the church, every Sunday or at every special program. You're not just the pastor's wife just because you want to be first lady. You're not just the first wife because you want people to respect you. You are not just the pastor's wife because of the fame, because of the affluence, because of the attention or the respect you think you will be getting. No, you're actually a servant. Okay, that's the first thing I want to say. If you want to be a first lady, you need to really understand. First lady, I think some people overrate that name. I really don't care about that name. I care more about the office, the service, not just the name. I'm not so big on names or titles. I'm bigger on, service. All right. So, you want to be a pastor's wife. You want to get engaged to a pastor's wife. You're dreaming so much. You're praying, fire, Lord, give me this man of God. Lord, I want this man of God. Do you really know what you're asking for? Do you really understand what that office entails? If you are engaged to be married to a man of God, Are you prepared for the task ahead of you? If you are already married to a man of God, do you really understand your position in that church? Do you understand that you're not just, occupying a seat? You're occupying an office that you're going to give account of at the end of your life. Just like your husband is going to give an account of the flock God gave to him, you are also going to give an account of the flock God also put under your care. Because as a pastor's wife, you are no longer just a wife to your husband. You are not just a mother to your children. You are now a mother to the flock, to the church. So you have a greater responsibility. You have greater souls to account for. So before you even start to dream of, how to be a pastor's wife, oh, do I want to be a pastor's wife? You need to really understand who that woman is, who she is and who she is not. This is a robust topic. I probably will take a lot of them in series because there is no way I'm going to be able to finish everything I have to say on this topic in one video. All right, so wherever we stop today, I will continue some other time. Okay, now the first characteristics that a pastor's wife should have is this: she has to be mentally stable. You want to be a pastor's wife and your emotions are all over the place. You don't have a control over your emotions. You're too emotional. You're so unstable in your emotions. Listen, if you are unstable in your emotions, you are not fit to be a pastor's wife, because that position will challenge you. Your husband is not going to leave the flock that God has put under his care. He's not going to leave ministry to constantly tend to your emotional needs. You're a crybaby, you react to everything, you complain about everything. You're just so emotional. You always believe, when you are if you're not mentally stable, your emotions are everywhere. You will always believe people are attacking you. You will believe maybe people don't like you. You wake up, or you believe, you can wake up and believe oh, these people are antagonistic towards you, and it might just be your emotions that are just playing pranks on you. So you have to be someone who is mentally stable. You have to be a woman that has a control over her emotions. We all have emotions as human beings. I mean, if you don't have emotions, you don't exist. But your ability to control your emotions is highly required for the office of a minister's wife. Because you have to realize that, your husband is pastoring a church, or your spouse is pastoring a ministry. And in ministry and in the church is like a hospital. There are a lot of people that are okay. There are a lot of people that are not okay. There are people that are responding to treatment. There are people that are not responding to treatment. So don't expect that everybody's going to love you. Don't expect that everybody's going to treat you the same way. No. And you're not just going to start, displaying all your emotions. You're probably crying over, things that don't matter, and every day you're complaining to your husband about one person or the other that did something to you in church, outside church. You're always complaining. Listen, that man is not going to be able to function properly in his office as a man of God. So the first thing you have to ask yourself, am I mentally stable to occupy this office? Can I handle, the challenges that will come with this office, the emotional challenges? Do I have a control over my emotions? Can I be calm in the midst of madness? If you cannot be calm in the midst of chaos, or you are just all over the place with your emotions, then just maybe you are not meant to be a pastor's wife. You probably need to ask God, to maybe show you somebody else, because that office is going to try you, it's going to try your emotions, and your husband is not going to be babysitting you every day, working on your emotions every day. You'll be making unnecessary, like I said, you'll be making unnecessary emotional demands to your husband. He's not going to be doing that with you. He has a flock to tend to. So he's not just gonna sit down with you 24/7 fixing your emotions. Today, oh, this person did this to me, tomorrow this person did this to her. Did you see how this person talked to me? Who's gonna be doing that? No, you're gonna be slowing down his ministry. You're going to be affecting him. The time that he's meant to be spending in the secret place, he'll be spending it trying to fix your emotions. So you need to first learn to control your emotions. The wife of a minister is a woman who has mastered the art of controlling her emotions. She's mentally stable. All right. The second thing I said here, I said you will have to be a selfless woman. Listen, you're going to be sharing this man with, with the whole congregation. You're going to be sharing him with other ministers. You're going to be sharing him, with different women. And you know that the church is filled with a lot of women. So listen, I'm going to come to that one. That's the third point. You have to be selfless. You have to know that, this office is an office that requires sacrifice. You cannot be complaining every second. Yes, your husband should make time for you. Okay, your husband should make time for his family, but you have to understand that there will be times where he will not be able to, spend that time you're looking for. I always say that men of God are like doctors. Their job has no end. Doctors are always on call. They can call them in the middle of the night. So if you know what it feels like to be married to a doctor, it's almost similar to what it feels like to be married to a man of God, because the medical doctor is treating patients in the hospital. The pastor is treating patients in the church. Okay, so those are just two scenarios, but they have similar responsibilities. So understand that you're going to be sharing your husband with a lot of people. So you're not just you have to be selfless. If you want to be a minister's wife, you have to be selfless. You have to give him room to share the moments that he needs to share in counseling people, ministering to people. You need to be selfless. Okay, there are a lot of characteristics. I don't know why do I keep missing this? All right, guys, forgive me. Anyway, but I know you guys are getting something from this, right? You will be sharing your husband. He's not just going to be your husband alone. He's going to be a pastor to his flock. So there will be times where you guys will probably not be spending that much time together, and there will be times where he would make time for you. So remember that you have to be a selfless woman. Number 3, you have to learn to control your jealousy. If you're a woman who is very jealous, sweethearts, don't bother about marrying a man of God. He's not for you. Okay, maybe you can go to some other, maybe, and also not a doctor. A doctor is not for you. A man of God is not for you, because listen, if you're a jealous woman, you always react. Every woman you see near your man, you're always reacting. He picks the call of a woman, you are angry. You can't even sit down in the middle of a conversation with himself and, a woman he's counseling. You're already all over the place. You're already complaining she's spending too long on that call. Why is she calling? Everybody in your husband, everybody you see around him, you're getting worked up. This one wants my man. That one wants my man. You're not fit to be a pastor's wife, because your husband's office will require him to counsel a lot of women. And if you don't know how to control your jealousy, you'll be causing problems for that man of God or for that minister. You'll be causing problems for them in the church or in their department, because you will accuse every sister of what they did not do. Everybody will be accused. You will, in fact, you will not even trust you. If you see any man with your husband, any woman with your husband probably receiving counseling, you can even go in there and walk the woman out, because you are not mentally stable. You are a very jealous person, and you are not selfless. You have to understand that the office of a man of God or the office of a minister, comes with that type of challenge. He's gonna be ministering to a lot of women. Women are the ones that fill our churches. You all know. He's gonna be ministering to families. He's gonna be ministering to men. You cannot be unnecessarily jealous. He's talking to somebody, and then you are getting all worked up. You're already squeezing your face, squishing your face. You can't even smile at some jokes, nothing. You're just too serious with everything. You're not fit to be a pastor's wife. A minister's wife should control her jealousy. Yes, every human being feels jealous. There's no soul on earth that doesn't get jealous, except you don't like that thing. But what I'm talking about is when your jealousy is now out of control, that you begin to cause issues everywhere. You lie against people. You accuse people of one thing or the other. If you're someone like that, please don't dream of being a minister's wife. You are just going to destroy that man's ministry. there is no point, and you will also even be a problem to yourself. But if you know you want to be a minister's wife, maybe it's just high time you really work on all of these things that I'm saying. And I'm not encouraging you to pretend. Listen, I always say something, if you manipulate your way into the life of a man, you have to make sure you keep on manipulating everything to stay there, because the same way you manipulated your way out is the same way the man will manipulate you out. Okay, so you have to be intentional about working on some of these things if you really want to be a pastor's wife. And if you are already married to a man of God and you have all of these traits in you, you are not mentally stable, you're unnecessarily emotional, you are not selfless, you are jealous, you always complain. Listen, you are causing issues for this man in his ministry. The fact that he's even dealing with the flock, and the most difficult people the most difficult job on earth really is the job of a pastor. You know what it means to pastor different people with different characters, different mindsets, and just trying to put everybody together in one place so that the word of God can be taught. Because listen, he's going to give account for every single flock in his ministry. So you don't want to be an impediment to him fulfilling the call of God on his life. You should have known what you were asking for when you were asking God or trusting God to be married to to a man of God. And that's why I'm doing this video. For those of you who are nursing this idea of marrying a man of God, he's going to be a people's person. You're gonna have to share him. Understand that, and don't start getting unnecessarily jealous. And if you're already married to him, you need to work on this. I have a lot of points, and I do not think that I'll be able to finish it today. So this is gonna be a 2-part series. All right. So I said the first thing, you have to be mentally stable. That means control your emotions. You have to be in a place of sanity. You're not somebody that your emotions will be switching all over the place, like epilepsy, Number 2, you have to be selfless. Okay, you have to understand that he has to sacrifice his time sometimes. Okay, and then you don't go working him up. Number 3, you have to be what? You mustn't be a jealous woman. You can't afford to be an unnecessary. You can't afford to be jealous unnecessarily. That's just what I meant to say. Okay, you must control your jealousy. All right, and let me see if I can take the 4th one. You must be a woman that keeps her mouth shut. You mustn't be a talkative. You mustn't be flippant, because your husband is going to be having ministry secrets. You don't want to be the kind of woman, who people confide in your husband about an issue, and then the next day their issue is everywhere. One member already has heard about this story. You don't want a situation whereby your husband, has probably a disagreement with maybe a man of God or a minister, and then a member already knows that your husband is quarreling with somebody. You want to be a woman who knows how to control her tongue, who knows how to tame her tongue. You know when to talk, you know when to keep quiet. Because your husband is going to have so many things that he will not want, people to know. So if you're a woman who is flippant, people are constantly in your business, you're always telling people things, you're not fit to be a minister's wife. You're going to give that man problems. So you probably want to reevaluate what you're asking God for. A minister's wife must be a woman who is willing to tame her tongue. You have to be able to keep certain things private. Can your husband trust you with certain ministerial secrets? Or will the world know? If you don't know how to, to keep secrets, things that are personal to you, people know, everybody knows, you're going to have problems. That whoever marries you is going to have problems in ministry, because that means that ministerial secrets will be out there. So a minister's wife is a woman who should learn how to control her tongue. You mustn't be a woman who talks, too much. You mustn't be a woman who carries, issues in the ministry outside. You shouldn't be the kind of woman who will take this one's problem. A sister confides in you, about something, and then the next day we are hearing this issue everywhere. You're always taking one sister's issue to another person's issue. Tomorrow, if that man marries you, the church will be a mess, because you will be in the middle of almost every gossip. You'll be the one carrying this story everywhere. So, and nobody wants to associate with such a minister's wife. You'll be disgracing that office. So you have to be a woman who, you have to be someone who can control, your tongue. You have to keep people's secrets. When people confide in you, leave it to yourself and your husband. Once you pray with your husband or your fiance, that is where it should end. If somebody confided in you, it's because they wanted to confide in you as the minister's wife. They did not ask you to go and discuss it with your fellow ministers. Even if you probably want to raise help for that person, you can raise help for any sister in your church without letting everybody know, what this sister told you in confidence. I've had a situation where a lady told me, she discussed with her pastor's wife, she was having issues about her rent or something, and she discussed with her pastor's wife, if there was a way they could raise funds for her, but she didn't want anybody to know what she was dealing with, but, instead of the pastor's wife to just, do that, she went ahead to tell different people, and just for this singular act, the lady left the church. She felt so ashamed by the time she started hearing that. So that is not the kind of minister's wife you want to be. You don't want to be the reason why your husband is losing members because you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to keep secrets. Your husband is quietly losing members and you don't know. You're like an impediment to the growth of the church. So you have to be a woman who knows how to keep people's secrets. All right? That is, the fourth thing I said here. And then another thing is you have to be faithful. You have to be faithful to your husband. You're not going to be taking your husband's, if you and your husband agree on something, you're not going to go behind him, and agree on something else with another man of God. Your husband, your husband's ministerial secrets. You're not going to be taking those things out. Okay, so it's almost the same thing as, taming your tongue. You have to be faithful to your husband. If you want to marry a minister of God, listen, you know that he will have friends. Your husband comes first. Don't go say you're loyal to his friends above your husband. No. Your husband comes first. You're going to be faithful to your husband. You're going to be loyal to him. You're going to be loyal to his vision. So don't start thinking that, once, it's okay to be very cordial, very sweet person to his friends, but you need to be faithful to your husband. And not just, with his colleagues, even with your body. You cannot be married to a man of God and, be engaging in things you should not be engaging in or be found in compromising situations with other men. All right? So if you're dating a man of God or you're engaged to a man of God, you mustn't be found in situations that are compromising, that can, affect the office of that pastor. All right, so you have to be faithful to him. You have to be loyal to him. Even when it comes to his friends, your husband comes first. Okay, so there are a lot of these reasons here, but I'm going to stop with this 5 today. All right, and I'm going to summarize by saying this. I will definitely come back. See, there are a lot of them listed here. All right, so I'm definitely going to do like a part 2 and a part 3. So what did we learn today? Number 1, you have to be mentally stable. Number 2, you have to be selfless. Number 3, you mustn't be a jealous woman. The minister's wife is not a jealous woman. She's selfless. She's mentally stable. She's a woman who knows how to tame her tongue. She knows how to control her tongue. She doesn't go around, revealing people's secrets in the church. Okay? Number 5, she is a faithful woman to her spouse. She is faithful and she is loyal. Okay, and it's a great thing to be the wife of a man of God. It's a great office, right? But I need you to understand that as you desire to be the wife of that man, understand that what you are entering into is a calling. You need the grace of God. You need the wisdom of God so you don't fail in that ministry. You are not what? You are not just going there to be first lady. A lot of women, they love that first lady. And some of you want to get married to a man of God so that you oppress other sisters in church. I was the one that married him. I'm the one that married the other brother. I'm the one that married the youth pastor. I'm the one that married... Those are very wrong motives. If your desire to marry a man of God is based on wrong motives, you will fail in that office. In fact, if God loves that man so much, God will make sure you never occupy that office. So you have to get your motives right. Why do I want to be the wife of a man of God? To be the wife of a man of God, to be the wife of an evangelist, to be the wife of a minister, it's a call to serve. Don't think that you just want to go, they'll carry your bag. Mommy, they'll be calling you mommy, mommy, our mommy. Don't get carried away by all those titles. You must be a selfless woman, a woman that you are able to sacrifice your time even for the flock in the church. Don't have that mentality, first lady, the paparazzi with it. No. Those are all wrong reasons for wanting to marry a man of God. Because see, if those are your reasons, you will be an impediment to that man's ministry. His ministry will not move forward. It won't move forward because you're marrying him for just show off, wrong reasons. Why do you really want to marry a man of God? Do you understand the office that you are praying for? Today, I have shared these 5 tips with you all, okay? I've shared these 5 tips and there are so many more. I will do a part 2 and a part 3 of this video. If you want the part 2 or the part 3, make sure you leave a comment on this video, okay? And I definitely will come back with the minister's wife. Who is she? Part 2 and part 3, all right? And if you are a minister of God, you're a man of God, and you're trusting God to settle down, you definitely want to listen to these videos as well, okay? You want to be married to a woman who is going to help your ministry, who is going to help your vision. You don't want to be with a woman who will bring your ministry down. I always say marriage can make or mar you. And if you're a sister out there, you want to be married to a man of God, it's time to work on yourself. It's time to reevaluate your motives and work on yourself. The office of the minister's wife is a call to serve. It's not a call to show off. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. I promise to come back with the part 2 because there are so many characteristics of the minister's wife, who she is and who she is not. And this topic is so robust. So if you would love for me to keep doing, once in a while do these topics and also complete this topic, make sure you leave a comment below. Stay connected to us. Do not forget to worship with us at Royal Place Ministries International. We are on Facebook. We live stream every Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. and on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then you'll find our bishop, my bishop, Blessing Samuel. Please make sure you're following him, okay? Follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I have learned a lot of wisdom just by being under his teachings, all right? God bless you all for always watching my videos and for sharing. I love you all. Remember that the office of the minister's wife is an office of service, not an office of show off. Get ready for what you're praying for. Stay blessed till I see you all some other time. I love you all.